The CA18DET was produced between 1982 and 1991. It was among the last in a long line of 14 engines in the CA family. The CA engine ranged from 1.6 to 2 litres in displacement and were all inline 4-piston engines. These engines were designed for a variety of smaller Nissan vehicles to replace the Z engine and some smaller 4-cylinder L series engines. It featured an iron block, aluminium head design with timing belt, which made it cheaper to make than the timing chain setup of the Z and L engines. Earlier versions featured single overhead cam, 8 valves. The CA block design was based off the older E series, which had its timing shaft and other ancillaries removed. The CA was designed to be compact and lighter. The CA only consumed 195 litres of space compared to 280 litres for the earlier Z16s, while weighing 23% less at 115 kilos or 254 pounds. Later versions featured double overhead cam with 16 valves for increased efficiency at high engine speeds and a smoother power delivery. The hydraulic lifters are interchangeable between all the double overhead cam RB and VG series engines except those with solid lifters. Engines for the low volume American and European markets, also called 200SX, were supplied by overstock between the Japanese and Australian markets. Let's break down the name code. What does it actually mean? CA stands for clean air due to the installation of Nissan's emission reducing technology. 18 refers to the 1.8 litres of displacement in the engine. D refers to dual overhead camshafts. E, electronic multi-point fuel injection. And T for turbocharged. There were 6 versions of the CA18, namely called the CA18I, 18E, 18S, 18DE, 18ET and DET. The DET was able to produce 166 brake horsepower with 168 foot-pounds of torque in the intercooled models. In more ways than one, this represented a significant upgrade from previous models. Some of these enhancements included a new double overhead cam aluminium head with 16 valves, an upgraded Garrett T25 turbocharger with better flow capacity with a 0.48 AR, an intercooler preventing pre-ignition and/or detonation. Fuel was delivered via multi-point fuel injection with 370cc injectors, and the bore and stroke was changed to 83 by 83.6mm. The CA18DET design and layout is very similar to its big brother RB series, sharing both the cast iron block, alloy head, timing belt and 4 valves per cylinder. The water pump, oil pump and accessory locations are also identical too. There were 2 main head designs featuring butterflies on the 8-port Japanese delivered model and 4 ports on the European model. Butterflies were added to restrict the flow of air entering the cylinder, in turn increasing the velocity and improving low-down torque and response. A series of valves and vacuum tanks operated the system, and after 3800 RPM, the butterfly valves would open, allowing for increased airflow entering the cylinder via the secondary inlet. This allowed the engine to flow more air efficiently and rev to almost 9000 RPM. However, due to displacement-based taxation and the cost of emissions testing in Europe, the CA18DET was sold as the only available engine in the S13, called 200SX, the European model, until being replaced by the S14 in 1994. At the end of its run, it was eventually replaced by the SR20DET, which in some ways was an improvement. Some say Nissan moved to the SR20 to reduce manufacturing costs as the cast iron block in the CA18DET was more expensive and heavy. Overall, the CA18DET was still is an underrated and less commonly used engine in the tuning world. That's not to say it doesn't have the potential if tuned correctly. If you would like to see a comparison of the CA18DET and SR20DET, please click on the link in the description. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you for the next video. Cheers.